Hi, my name is Megan Gunyer, and I am doing my research presentation on social media and self-esteem. Um, Introduction of the paper. This paper is significant because these days social media is everything to up and coming teens. Their lives revolve around posting what they're doing and who they're doing it with. What they don't think about while they're posting is who they might be offending on the other end of that screen. Others are too worried about looking just like their role model that they will go to extreme measures to make sure that dreams become reality. Teens and young adults are so focused on becoming someone that they're not because they feel that they aren't good enough. Something needs to be done before it gets worse than it already is. Something that sparked my interest on this was when I had nieces that I got really close with. They're really close to my family, and even though um, the oldest one is 8 years old, she'll come up to me when I'm watching her, and she'll be telling me about this TV show that she's watching and how she wants to be exactly like this person and how she loves what she's wearing. Like, it starts out a lot earlier than we think, and then it just gets worse as they get older because they're not satisfied with themselves. And at first, I thought like this was like a lot with girls and like that kind of thing, but actually boys are just as bad. I don't hear about it as much just because my little cousin, he's just into tractors. He doesn't really relate to that kind of thing yet, but I mean, it really is affecting everyone. Like, you can't just single out the girls and the guys. I just don't see it as much. So I thought that was really interesting that the boys are to be just as concerned with. Um, my research questions was why schools aren't doing more activities or assemblies to help out with this, because the earlier you get it started, the quicker that they can snap out of it and really be okay with who they are and who they're becoming and make them love themselves rather than focusing on who they're seeing on the TV show, because what they don't see is the extreme measures that some of these celebrities are going to just to be just like them, and that's not how it should be, especially at that young of an age. My next thing was, what are the parents doing about it? Parents should be monitoring what children are watching day in and day out, because things are a lot more accessible to children, and that's what like parental guide is for. You should be having talks with your kids. Um, Parents need to be there for their children when they do start seeing that they're down and they do start not really loving who they are and what they could become if they just accepted themselves instead of focusing on what's going on in the media and who's the up and coming celebrity that they need to be just like. My next thing was, what are the studies finding? Are girls more self conscious than boys? Um, there are more research studies on girls than there are guys, but I also find that a lot of studies were college students as well. So it's not just young teens. It's also older, like young adults as well. Like, they're still not happy with themselves because I mean, college is a completely different scene from where I went to high school. And I mean, I wasn't comfortable at first when you see all those other girls and you're like, wow, they matured a lot faster than I did. So, I mean, you're always comparing yourself to others, and that's fine, but you should still be able to really love yourself as well. Like, that's just something maybe to look up to and maybe a goal to have, but you shouldn't want to change your entire self to be like somebody else. Um, and what age does this start out at and why? Like I said, it can start as early as the age of 8, as I found out, which I thought was extremely young, but like I was probably like that too, like, oh, I want to be just like this person on the TV screen, but you don't really realize until you're older and you hear it from a younger kid and you just want to be like, no, just enjoy being yourself. Like, make your own person. You don't have to follow everyone else, because some people do go to extreme measures to change their entire personality so they're exactly like the TV screen. And that's just the start of it. It can get so much worse, and social media is the number one way that teens are changing themselves, because they see all these celebrities and they see all these older kids that they want to be just like, and they're not fully accepting themselves. Um, the literature is telling us that um, the more you're on social media, the more self conscious you are with yourself, because you're looking at other people, you're looking at other images. It's always out there. Something's always changing. So social media really is not only taking away from our interaction, like person to person. It's taking away from everybody just loving themselves and being who they are instead of focusing on somebody else that they're not. It's social media is here. It was really changing the whole world. It really is, and it's only going to get worse if something isn't done about it.